commercial break is ending.
You good?
If you want to.
Yeah, let's wait for Matt to come out. Okay, I make a motion, I'm sorry, I called the meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please? Sue?
Here.
Smith is present and Brian Keys is absent.
He's on electronically.
Oh, being electronically?
He's on right now.
Oh, he's on now, okay, so Brian Keys is in electronically. Okay, we have two non-publics. I make a motion to go into non-public RSA 91A32D for session 1 and RSA 91A32A for session 2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Sue?
Yes.
Keys?
Aye.
And Smith is yes, so we are non-public for 2 sessions.
3:01.
You ready? I'll make a motion to re-enter the public meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to seal the non-public minutes from session 1 and session 2. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3:43.
You got anything up here, DJ?
Nope. I can talk about it in the public meeting about the storm and
Yeah.
the 2 pieces of machinery. I might have to leave whenever that phone rings just to put the backhoe in the garage.
Okay, you don't want to talk about it now then, just in case?
Yeah, I can. The new skid steer came. The bucket is not one that was supposed to come on it, so I'm gonna have to work through that. It's a half bucket with a clamshell. I need a full bucket. And
That came with the wrong bucket?
yeah, it's not the one that we had picked out. No big deal. We'll work to see. Maybe if they can't do them with a clam bucket, we'll have to get a different bucket to just move material around. But it's a full width bucket. It just the sides come in so that you can clamp a log or something like that with it.
So it only has a top moving section instead of the bottom
It's
moving?
got 2 individual moving.
Oh, not instead of one solid
Yeah,
bottom.
so the
I
bucket's
gotcha.
not one
Yep, I get
full-sided
it.
bucket. The forks are there tomorrow. The snow pusher's coming. Both the full timers come over and looked at it. It's gonna take some getting used to. You run it with your hands and not your feet. The new backhoe should be here, and then that will give the transfer station a backhoe, and so they have something.
Yeah.
'Cause, the influx of brush, as you can imagine,
saw
that's
that
come
pile.
in there is unreal.
Gigantic.
So, one good thing to say that we can say downstairs is we need to make sure everybody bringing in 3-inch and under. Because people are putting
Logs?
logs inside brush, so we can't see it till they dump it.
Right.
Other than that, that'll be good for them to have the new backhoe, so.
The skid steer tires and the new one, are we swapping the old solid ones to it or
We
not?
are gonna try to see if they'll work. If they don't work, we're gonna put the aired tires on the old skid steer, sell it and keep those, if they work.
Okay.
If they don't work, we actually might try to work something out with another town or do something to get all we can out of
And
those.
we're gonna auction off the old skid steer?
Yep.
Along with the old backhoe.
The old backhoe,
Skid
truck
steer.
8,
Truck
which is new
Is there an
Peterbilt.
old
Our
police
older
car back
Peterbilt.
there too?
There's gonna be 2 police cars back there and 2 balers at the
Right.
transfer station, 2 small aluminum can balers. There's a lot of interest in those, so
What about the other cardboard baler?
we need both of those.
We do need both.
Yeah.
Alright. You got anything, man? You got anything else up here in case you gotta run?
Thursday, I have the town of Tamworth Board of Selectmen coming. I don't know if it's all of them, or one of them, or 2 of them, I have no idea. They're coming to look at our transfer station. They're gonna go through and see how we do it, so that would be Thursday morning.
I am gonna be at the county for the communications district meeting Wednesday. The rollout of Fidium fiber optic has been pushed back potentially. We may not even get it this year now, so I need to re-engage with the district and apply political pressure to Consolidated Communications.
Which is, they said it possibly third quarter next year? Is that what he said to you?
That's what he said on the phone, yeah.
As opposed to final quarter of this year? Right.
He said he would push for Q4, but I didn't get a strong positive sense from that.
for the sake of time, I'm gonna do a couple of these documents. I have a subordination agreement between the town of Ossipee and Sandy Ridge Estates. This goes way back. This is just a renewal because they are refinancing. It's the Sandy Ridge Estates Cooperative. And it's through the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund. This goes back when that community was put in, and it needs to be renewed, and the attorney has reviewed it and sent it back to us. So I'll make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a notice of intent to excavate. Actually, I'm gonna do them all in one motion. Notice of intent to excavate for map 244 lot 2, map 231 lot 22, map 243 lot 2, because it's a different amount, and map 250 lot 8, all the taxes are paid. Make a motion to approve these notice of intent to excavate.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a notice of decision for an alternate appointment to the Ossipee Planning Board. The Ossipee Planning Board during the April 2nd meeting has appointed Bruce Stewart to the Ossipee Planning Board as an alternate until March 2025. That's just for the record. I have a notice of decision from the ZBA, case number 24-02V, map 66, lot 52. They were granted a variance from the side setback and green space. It's in the file for review. You wanna save yours from downstairs?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, save yours downstairs.
One thing we could get away, do up here is, we had the warrant article voted in for the new, we put 200,000 into the ETF for the highway. This year, the truck on the docket is the new 1 ton to replace our last 2014 1 ton. We really have no option other than going with HP Fairfield, so I have the setup to be exactly like the white Ram. I didn't know if the board could vote to have me go with the lowest bid for the new Ram 5500. I do get 3 quotes, but it's the same exact truck, and pretty much it's whatever dealership wants to come down. We have 3 we use: Tri-City, Mark Motors, and Keene Chrysler. I don't know if you guys could vote for me to go with the lowest one, or at least make a phone call and have talk with you about it, because it's gonna probably come in this week, and
Yeah, we're not gonna be meeting.
it's not gonna be here. I'd like to get it ordered, because all that stuff is sitting at HP Fairfield, and if we can get the truck in here, we won't have it for winter if we keep waiting.
It's a 1 ton with the plow setup?
Yep, exactly like truck 12, which is the white Ram 5500. We're gonna do the exact same thing. The only difference between this one and that one is there's gonna be a 9-foot spreader in the back, stainless steel spreader. We reused one that we had that was fairly new for that one, but for whatever reason, the upfitting cost is only $1,000 difference, so I
That's
think
a problem.
with everything going up, I thought that was...
Speaking of spreaders, did we ever sell all those other ones?
We sold all of them, and 2 of them people never come and
Never
got.
picked them up. Did they
No
pay
one
for
come
them?
no one even come and got the mower either.
So we could put that back
Put
out?
it back out.
'Cause they didn't- I'll make a motion to allow TJ to go with the lowest bid that he receives for the Ram 5500 1 ton with the plow setup.
Second.
Is that a sufficient motion?
Yep.
Covers what you
Yep.
need? All
I'll
those in fa-
second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anything else?
I don't think anything else.
Got anything else? Got something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question about the community loan fund.
Yep.
Why is Ossipee, why is your governmental unit dealing with the community loan fund?
So this goes back to when that community was put in, long before our tenure here. That's what it is.
The town acted as a intermediary, from what I can tell, accepting grant funds and then issuing them to the sub-grantee
So when the loan
for the
fund,
development of low-income housing.
When the loan fund recorded their mortgage back in 2013, a subordination agreement was recorded subordinating the town of Ossepee's mortgage to the loan funds. We would like to record an identical subordination agreement to maintain the loan fund's lien position, because they're refinancing, so they need to update that.
Well, why can't the community loan fund provide that themselves? I don't understand. I never heard of that before.
So as far as I can surmise, the town has a lien on the property in case that they did not follow through with all the conditions of the grant. Then there'd be something in place to go after them, because the grant, like all grants, came with a lot of conditions for low-income housing. So I think this is a way that the town can hold them accountable to perform at the standards of the grant. But in order for them to refinance, the town has to agree to subordinate that lien, which is common if you had like if you had a HELOC, a home equity line of credit on your house, and you went to refinance your primary mortgage, they would have to subordinate that lien to the second position. And there it's questionable because there's a financial implication here. It's not like that as far as I can tell.
So is there liability that the town is gonna encumber if they don't follow through with the grant conditions? That's what I
Not
was,
to my knowledge, but you'd have to go back to whenever Sandy Ridge was done 20-something years ago to
Yeah, that was
become an
put in-
expert on that. I don't know what they agreed to at that point.
Yep.
okay, thank you.
It was vetted by town attorney who said, yeah, this is fine.
All right, that's all I have. Anything else, Sue?
No, I don't
Nothing?
have-
They
Can I ask?
Well, no, go ahead, I'll give you a question up here, even though there's no public input, but go ahead.
Thanks. And there, it's just more of an update. The perennial greens between like my yard and the park,
Yep,
there was lots of damage to them.
Okay.
So like one big trunk of one actually just fell over in my driveway.
okay,
So, and it's kind of heavy for me, so I told TJ, I just sort of moved it to the right, and
Sure.
it's okay, like, I know you got cleanup, and it's fine, because it's just, my car. But just so you guys know, but there's just a lot of damage to a lot of limbs, and they're hanging just by, like, the bark, essentially. So
Okay.
I think it's gonna be more like, I think you're gonna need someone who knows how to trim these.
is that town control, is that,
It's, that set of greens is like right on her property line.
oh,
So Chris is gonna go, he was gonna do it today, he went and did trash today and had to get the baseball field ready because they're playing tonight.
mm-hmm,
So he got that ready, and tomorrow he's gonna go over there and cut the down ones down.
Okay.
And then whatever damage happened to them, other than
Yeah.
if the board wants to replace them, they can, but whatever damage happened to them, he's gonna remove any of the things
who,
leaning.
who planted it here? You don't
No one
know.
knows?
It's right on her line.
So it's on the line, it could have been the previous owner that planted them,
These are older, I mean, these would have been, right, these have gotta be at least 20 years old.
that's what I'm saying, it could have been a previous owner, who knows?
Yeah, I didn't know, it's just that it just looks really bad, and I'm sure the park deserves, we want the park to be pretty, I would think, quite attractive, and this really just takes away from it, that's all.
Okay.
But
It's gonna be done tomorrow, so.
Okay, and again, if something comes up, that's perfectly okay, it's not hurting anyone. I just want people to be
Yep.
aware, the snow did a lot of damage, it was just the heaviness of it.
Yep, okay,
The
great.
chemical toilet will be there this week too.
Oh, well, okay, good.
No, that one's May 1st, we did that, it was May 1st. Chemical toilet's gonna be at Constitution Park and across the road at the baseball field this week.
Okay, good. All right, anything else? I'm going to recess until 4:15.
Hello?
3:56.
Yeah.
Studying it every day, I see.
I am. Yeah, so I have questions, and I'd like to, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just,
I
I
don't
wanna make sure that I'm not
Yeah.
thinking things
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
So, and it's all about the minutes, and
Oh.
Ed keeps trying to tell me, hey, go to court. They're gonna tell you, yeah, you can do this, and you can do this. So, maybe for everybody's information, so that people aren't questioning it as go later on down the road, you can't do it. That everybody will know, hey, this is actually the way it works. But there's things in here, like the word approved.
Yeah.
But at the end of that last 91A, as I told him, what does it mean when they say all members are present to
Yeah,
vote?
right. So when you do the minutes,
Should we wait for the camera?
This is not really meant for this meeting, I mean.
No, I know, but I was just trying to, for me, this is an educational thing.
Yeah, so minutes have to reflect who's present, the content, like the general content. I made a motion, it was seconded by Sue, Brian, all those in favor, we all voted yes.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that.
No, that's in 91A.
You don't have to sit not for the minutes.
Yeah, 91A, you have to have who was
We just went
present.
through this.
You're not listening to me.
Yeah.
He's saying that you don't have to, that he's saying the statute's not clear about what approval means and about voting on minutes.
The 91A doesn't mention approval
That's
voting.
what I just said. No, it does say approval.
It does
doesn't
say
approval.
approval.
You don't, it doesn't say by statute, do you have to take a motion, a second, and a vote for minutes? It does not, it just says approve.
Just says approve. Oh, here we go.
Well, no, it's good that you bring it up
No,
though.
so now we have to like, because it's a learning thing for me. I need to make sure.
Well, it
that I
might be a
know.
learning thing for everybody.
All right.
Oh, no, I don't have that here. I have it on my phone.
I have a copy of it.
Whatever, NHMA's, it's got a whole thing on it, minutes don't have to be approved by a board.
That's what I
It's
just
great
said.
practice, we do it.
It says approve.
If you wanna bring this up in the public session, I'm not even gonna discuss it.
No, I'm gonna look for it so that I can show you where it says approved.
Okay, we're actually past time. Okay, you ready? It's 4:16, I'm gonna reconvene the meeting, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm gonna open it up to the first public input, if I can turn my phone on. First public
Is that
input.
gonna be me?
Go ahead, Dallas. You got
I'm
the
gonna go
floor.
first because I wanna straighten this out while we're here. Because, this happened at the zoning board and I think it started because I wanted to make the motion to keep the electronic recording. And it was, we don't have to vote on the minutes, is the way I understood it. After looking at the RSA, the only thing that I can find that says is that they have to be approved. And that the person taking the minutes can sign for it. So that's what I wanted to try to straighten out. And I know I'm looking through the book, so I don't have time to actually, I had it and I lost it. But, it does say approved. And then it also says that, on that 91A that was sent out through the planning board, there's on the last paragraph, which is E, it says all members present at the meeting are there to vote. And as soon as I find the specific paragraph, but it's 91A2, right, E, a member participating in a meeting described in this paragraph is deemed to be present at the meeting for purposes of voting.
Of course.
Right, so
So we're here to vote, that's the whole point of that saying.
So all I'm saying is, you're saying we don't have to vote on the minutes, which it doesn't say vote.
You don't have to vote on minutes.
Right, but it just says they have to be approved.
No, it doesn't. I'm not getting into that. You don't have to. NHMA's got a whole legal bulletin on it.
Well, they're gonna
Minutes-
have a meeting on the 17th, they're gonna have a whole class, and then they're gonna have another one.
So-
And I can't remember exactly what the date is on that.
But in all defense, lawyers have given conflicting opinions in time at Dallas. Sometimes there's an opinion and then it changes in the future. So, if you can get clarity, that would be great.
Well, the state's not making it very clear. and-
91A is not clear.
I'm not trying to be a pain
No, I
about
know
it,
you're
and I'm
not.
trying to understand it, because maybe everybody needs to know.
Are you going to the class?
It's on a Zoom, and I don't know if I'll be able to go.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to the class.
But,
It's two of them.
then maybe you could ask the question, what approved means?
Just a simple question is, do meeting minutes have to be approved by the body?
Okay, so with the planning board, that was brought up, and it was, and Ash Fishman said, I don't know where he got it from, but he,
So there's a difference if we don't want to get off topic here, because we gotta get back to the
Right.
meeting. But if a board has it in their procedure to approve minutes, that's what the board does. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what 91A says. And 91A is ambiguous, that's all we're saying.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
difference between board procedure, like we vote to approve minutes and review them, because it's good practice, right? You want to review what the public record is, you want to vote on it, and you want to sign it.
Right,
I
I guess-
agree with it. But 91A is ambiguous on it, that's all we're saying.
Oh, okay, so you know what, send it to me in an email and I will give it to the teacher.
All right.
Well, it's right here, you probably have the same book.
Well, I did,
Anything
but
else
I
on
don't
down?
think-
Anything else? on
Well,
that?
I mean,
Give
I'll
us a
come
page
back, I'll
number.
come back to it and at the end of the meeting, if I find it, and I will show it to you. Oh, there was one other thing. There's supposed to be a list of any judgments or anything like that that the town has gotten into that are supposed to be in the clerk's office. That's-
Judgments?
Yeah, any settlements or cases that the town has gone through, there's supposed to be a list of those in the clerk's office. She doesn't have that list.
I don't know what you
And-
discussing. Give us the RSA and we'll find the answer for you.
Okay.
But after the meeting.
Yeah,
We don't
all
have
right,
time.
all right, I'll give you all the RSA's, but there's also supposed to be another list that you guys keep
Yep.
of all of your non-publics.
Matt does that.
Okay, and then anything after 10 years is supposed to be open to the public. So I need to know what the list is to see how long they go back, how far do they go back?
Well, we
What
can't-
year are we on?
We can't speak to what was done before us.
No, you have to vote, you have to go in and vote. You actually have to vote on those minutes, 2/3 majority.
No, we don't touch previous board's minutes.
You have to go in and redo, check the minutes. You have to check and see if they're still relevant. If they are no longer relevant, you have to open those up to the public.
Okay.
Or you have to say, between the board members, at least 2/3 majority, no, we want to keep this.
Okay.
But you only have 10 years to do it, and anything past 10 years is supposed to be open to the public.
It's supposed to be reviewed, not opened.
Well, after, you have up 10 years to do it.
We'll have to review the RSA that you're citing. Give Matt the number when you find it after the
Right,
meeting.
but I can't tell without the list. You're supposed to keep a list of all of those non-publics.
Right, and Matt does do a list of non-publics.
But I don't think that was a law until fairly recently.
That was relatively recently. That wasn't a.
3 years.
Yes.
3 or
that-
4 years, so, yeah, so.
So that's not a law that goes way back with previous boards.
No, I'm not saying it is, I'm pointing it out that, there's supposed to be a list somewhere.
Yeah, and
I
it's just
can't-
gonna cite when we had it non-public and what the RSA was under, that's it, correct?
Right, and
whether
you
it
can't
was
keep
sealed
track
or
of it
Whether
unless,
it's sealed or unsealed, yeah, no, Matt's doing that already.
yeah, you can't keep track of it unless you have a list to say, okay, this is where we're at. Nobody would know unless they go.
You know who brought that to my attention? The Honorable Ed Comeau a couple of years ago. And we started doing it.
No, that's good, but the list isn't there. There's no list in the clerk's office.
I don't know about the other list. Give us that RSA that you're referring to, and
Yeah.
we'll make sure that if there is something we're supposed to disclose, we'll disclose it,
Okay.
okay?
And I did mark it in here so that I would remember to give you that number.
Any other public input? No? Okay, we're gonna move on to red folder documents. Sue, when you're ready.
I have the check voucher totals, payroll for week ending April 12th to 24. Wages, $39,430.85. Payroll taxes, $11,434.11. Total payroll, $50,864.96. Accounts payable, general fund total, $309,954.12. Fire precincts, $149,086.22. Ambulance, $35,500.88. Water, $5,108.55. Sewer, $1,870.12. Total accounts payable, $501,519.89. Total fund payments, $552,384.85. I make a motion, we approve these voucher totals.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have the Selectmen's work session and Selectmen's meeting for March 18th. I make a motion, we approve these minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have the Selectmen's public meeting, Monday, March 4th, 2/24. I make a motion, we approve these minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have the Selectmen's emergency meeting, Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. I make a motion, we approve these minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have a clerical abatement for map 80, lot 26, sub 30, in the amount of $496. And that's at 130 Gretchen Road. I make a motion, we approve this clerical abatement.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have there's a supplemental warrant in the amount of $496. For map 80, lot 26, sub 30. I make a motion, we approve this supplemental warrant.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have an excavation tax warrant in the amount of $496 for map 243, lot 2. And I make a motion, we approve this excavation tax warrant.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have an excavation tax warrant in the amount of $0 for map 250, lot 8. I make a motion, we approve this warrant.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have another excavation tax warrant in the amount of $201.06 for map 244, lot 2. I make a motion, we approve this excavation tax warrant.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have an excavation tax warrant in the amount of $1,428.50. Map 231, lot 22. I make a motion, we approve this excavation tax warrant.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a letter, I requested some information from the last storm from the fire chief as to the status of what happened. I'm just going to read it, it's pretty brief. From Dana Cullen, Chief Center Ossipee. He has been the town Ossipee EMD director since 2010. He said this storm rivaled only Hurricane Irene in comparison to damages suffered by Ossipee. All three fire departments, the Ossipee PD, ambulance service, and highway department, all suffered loss of power. Carroll County Dispatch Center was also out of power. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, I'll speed it up. Center Ossipee responded to 58 calls, West Ossipee responded to 12, Ossipee Corner responded to 16. The calls were from everything from medical aid, motor vehicle, down trees, electrical wires, etc., small fires. The Emergency Operations Center was opened at 16 Folsom Road. From there, they stayed in contact with town officials, the power companies, coordinated responses. A great deal of emergency calls came in directly to the district firehouses rather than through 911. The major concern for this event was road closures, loss of power, and the ever-present danger due to downed electrical lines. Fire companies assisted with tree removal to gain access to certain locations for emergency responses. There was a joint shelter that was open to serve the towns of Ossipee, Effingham, Freedom, and Tamworth at the Effingham Elementary School. This worked in conjunction with the fire chiefs, emergency management directives, as well as the American Red Cross to provide safe shelter operations. One important statistic of note is that the shelter intake number stood at 10 residents total, and none of them came from Ossipee, which I'm surprised that it was only 10 total people with the amount of outages, and none went there from Ossipee. It was on the Ossipee webpage, it was on social media, so it was broadcasted widely. Once again, this event shows the collaboration of all town officials and departments for the successful outcome. No injuries were reported directly due to the storm. I just want to thank the fire departments and all emergency management personnel, especially the highway department. They were out there with the wind blowing and trees falling around them, risking life and limb, literally to get the roads open. And you guys did a great job. Thank you. Old business? You got anything?
Yeah, we just received, that's actually where I was, the new backhoe for the transfer station. I mean, the new backhoe for the highway department. They're gonna get our old backhoe and the new skid steer for the transfer station.
Good.
Full-time employees come over and looked at it, and it's gonna work great. The other thing I'll touch on, what you said, the storm was, from start to finish, about 68 hours long. Neil and his crew, myself, and I can't, even the fire departments, everybody worked good. We had trucks stuck between trees. We had 3 trucks taken out of commission from trees falling on them. You would be cutting, and there'd be a tree behind you, between you and the truck. Can't really say enough about how good the highway department did. That's a long time to do that kind of work. It's one thing to sit in a plow truck and plow, but to cut trees like that was pretty crazy. We have about 115,000 cubic feet of brush at Constitution Park. One good thing is Neil actually come up with the idea to start on the weekend, because we would get logging trucks to help us clean it up. We worked all weekend and then the next week, and we're about, he's here now, but 95 to 96 somewhere percent cleaned up. We still have some brush we got to clean up, some leaners, but we were able to cut everything that come into the road. We worked with the power company, the police department. They helped us lug wood, so they weren't just sitting there in their cruisers. They actually helped us. They see we couldn't get into roads. There was a period of time for about 2 hours that Neil and I called it and had all the trucks come back to the garage, because we weren't going to be left with anything to plow with, because we had radiators taken out, hoods crushed, trucks stuck between wires that we couldn't move. And at some point in that kind of storm, you've got to call it quits. At night, it's dangerous, and he did a really good job organizing everybody. We actually worked with Eversource and Co-op to get our trucks out. And there was a lot of snow. The ground, we were dealing with soft ground. We had a truck go right through Nichols Road, so it was right frame hung out right in the middle, right on the edge of the road. So that was quite a storm, and they did a really good job. Police department, fire departments, everybody worked together on that one. It was pretty good to see the town do what they did. So
Good. Thank you. Any other new business? Matt, anything?
Nothing that's worthy of
Nothing.
following.
You can't top that?
Yeah.
Sue, yeah? Going to the second public input. Who was first? Mr. Bowie, you're in the front row.
Just wondering why the llama farm got raided today.
They had a bunch of, Chief, can we speak to that or no?
What's that?
He asked why the llama farm got raided down the hill here.
Reference to complaints for animal cruelty. The search warrant was executed.
Did it have anything to do with like possibly the storm? No.
No, not at all.
I'm surprised animal cruelty. They get so many animals. I figured they're pretty good to them.
Yeah, so. Anything else on that? Or-
No.
Okay.
Scared.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, yes, you guys did a great job. I dropped a carrot cake off at the highway department, and I hope you got some. Or did they just not tell you?
It didn't last long. It was delicious, it didn't last long.
Oh, you didn't get any.
I didn't see it, but as long as I got it.
Oh, well.
Well, thank you for the cake. Any other public input?
Do you want to know what the RSA numbers are that I'm looking at?
Give it to Matt after the meeting.
Okay, yes. Because really, I mean, it's not, it's more educational than
Yep.
anything. And I'm not trying to argue.
No, no,
Okay, so
no,
don't take it like I'm
Listen,
arguing.
that book and all these books are,
Right.
like I always say, we get dictated from the state the rules, and I'm a human being, and I don't know half of them.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
So we all learn as we go, and if you have something we're missing, I gladly accept that so we can learn from it.
Yeah, and I'm learning too,
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And, you know, and if you hadn't said that to me the other night, I would have just assumed that it always is you have to vote.
Right.
Well, it says it right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, and it does say you have to vote.
Good.
It has to be marked, seconded.
Right. But that's not for approval of minutes, but I'm not
Yeah,
getting
it says
into it.
minutes of all such meetings, including non-public sessions, shall include the names of members, persons appearing before the public body, a brief description of the
Yep.
subject matter,
Exactly.
and the names of the members who made or seconded each motion.
Exactly.
So you,
That's-
how do you vote if you don't second? See?
That's the votes within the meeting, that's not approval of the meeting minutes, you're mixing the two. But again, I don't wanna keep debating this with you.
I understand, but the meetings are on the agenda, the minutes are always on the agenda from the last meeting.
And that's because we choose to do that. That's part of our policy, this is what I'm telling you, the difference between law and policy, right? Policy is good practice that we do.
And I know,
then there's
this
the
is
law.
where, and this is where.
That's what I'm saying, there's two
conflict with-
differences.
I know, this is where I'm having a conflict, because you'll interpret it one way and I'm interpreting it a different
It's
way.
policy and law are two different things.
The law says you have to have minutes.
Okay. I agree.
Approved minutes,
Doesn't
approved,
say that.
that's what the law
We're
says.
gonna close that
I
chapter.
know, I know. I know.
Go ahead, Frank.
When's the next meeting?
The 29th.
2 weeks?
Yep.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, Frank.
Why are we going every 2 weeks, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, because we're here to conduct the town business as an efficient manner as possible, so it's every 2 weeks.
So you don't think every
No,
week would be better?
nope,
All right, well, I do, but
okay,
that's,
you're entitled to your opinion. yeah.
I know.
Any other public input?
No, I said no.
I appreciate your input, Dallas.
So you said.
Okay, nothing further? Oh, go ahead,
One more thing, I forgot to say this before, at the transfer station, for everybody that's listening, we gotta make sure that we keep the brush below 3 inch.
Oh, right.
Because it's coming in, I get people are trying to clean their houses up,
What's
but
coming in?
use it for
Rush.
firewood or whatever you can cut it up for, it's hard for us to get rid of it when it's over that size diameter, that's the rule at the dump, and we've got Bonnie there, so don't try to hide it, so
She'll
she,
get out the tape measure.
yeah.
Anything under
Do we have
3 inches?
we don't have a wood chipper in the town, do we?
Nope. We have a wood chipper at the highway department, but it's a small wood chipper. You could never chip that. We actually hire a guy to come in.
No.
He chips it, takes the chips for the money, and we pay the rest, whatever it comes out to be. We actually have him doing the brush in Constitution Park as well. The reason the brush is at Constitution Park, so everybody knows, is because we tried to get to our pit, and our 1-ton sunk right out of sight, so we had to put it in a place large enough for me to get a picture in case this goes to FEMA. I needed one big pile to take a picture.
And that's a big pile.
It's huge.
I know, I saw it the other day. That's gigantic.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
4:38.
If you have a question,
Oh, I can't, what do you say?
email me.
Sorry.
For the New Hampshire Municipal Association.
The only question I have is what is the
Yeah.
But